What's up, the Joffice? We're here live from Evo 2017. We're at the Gaming Generations booth demoing UFS, showing off playmats, showing off Jasco product. If you have a chance to come down, if you're here at Evo, come check us out. If not, sorry you missed it, but check it out. New gaming players, got people from all over the place trying out UFS. Greetings everyone, and welcome to episode 4 of season 3 of the Joffice. Now, due to popular demand, we are going to be showing you some of our upcoming games that are not UFS or Buffy related. So what you see here is the Street Fighter miniatures game. Sorry, I dropped this extra Ryu here. All of this is prototype material. We have some prototype maps that we've been playtesting on. Some of the very first renditions of our models for Street Fighter. It's actually going to be compatible with Mortal Kombat and Dragon Ball Z. This is actually more to size scale for Ryu. Obviously this is an uglier model. It's 3D printed on a lower quality printer, but you can see the size is a lot bigger. All these models are planned to be pre-colored and painted in the box, so you don't have to do any assembly or coloring. We have some of the other prototype pieces over here for tokens and things like that. But this game, it's a tabletop tactical game. You play single player, or sorry, 1v1, 2v2, 3v3, or 1v3 in boss mode are the current modes we have planned for the game. And Street Fighter is going to be the first expansion of the game. We also have a couple other models we'd like to show you now. Again, these are all pending approval, and they're kind of maybe not all the way finished before we submit them to the licensor. But we've got Akuma coming in with effects. We have M. Bison with and without effects. Now, you saw the model earlier on the board. We also have an effects version. We have Raditz from Dragon Ball Z using effects and without effects, just holding a scouter. Nappa, this is a non-effects version. He also has his scouter on. He may be produced without the scouter. It just depends on how the production process works. Ken doing his Shoryuken effect. Zangief and Sagat. So, and those are both effects models as well. Now, all of the characters should have effects and non-effects versions, but it's going to just depend on the development. This game will be kickstarted. As you can see under here, there's a bunch of other maps, but you know, they're kind of hard to check out. Here's Guile stage, for instance, and there's a couple more underneath. But we're still playtesting this. It's actually going to go into public playtest relatively soon, so just kind of follow Jasco Games and the Angry Joe Show. Joe from the Angry Joe Show is actually partnered with us on this project, so be sure to check that out as well. Next up, we also have a Dragon Ball Z miniatures board game coming out called the Dragon Ball Z The Board Game Saga. This is a cooperative miniatures game where you're all playing as a team and going through all of the sagas of Dragon Ball Z. So keep an eye out for that one. That one is actually going to come out before the Dragon Ball Z Tactics game. We also have a Cowboy Bebop board game coming out called Cowboy Bebop, A Game of Bounties. And I believe there's another game. Oh yeah, I remember. It's the Buffy the Vampire Slayer expansion. Sorry, I said we weren't going to talk about Buffy. But we're working on an expansion for Buffy, including new characters. So keep an eye out for that as well. That's going to be out pretty soon, probably by the end of the year. So there you go. We're going to be talking a lot about Evo and our experience there this week. So stay tuned and check out the staff talking about our Evo experience.
Hey guys, JT here, back from LA, where I went over and met with a distributor who had asked me to come over, which turned out to be a lot of meetings with some retailers, preaching the gospel of UFS and getting a few of them some demos and some of our other games as well. And getting to meet them face to face and giving them kind of the spiel on what Street Fighter is coming out and what's coming after that, you know, Cowboy Bebop and that sort of thing. Got a few more stores on board for it that are very excited, and we're very excited to hear about our Premier Store program as well and have applied, I think. So that was a lot of fun. The next day I got to meet with WB. And that turned out to be much bigger than I thought it was going to be. I thought we were just meeting our contact, and it turned out to be about 6 or 7 other people in the room who I took a lot of our finished product there. So Top Gun, Buffy, Mega Man Pixel Tactics, Street Fighter, of course, some of the old tins so they could see what we have done in the past. And this is the pass that I got for walking in, so I'm keeping that on my desk because that was a really fun time. And they were very impressed. They actually ended up keeping a lot of the product and talking to us, or want to continue talking to us about other things. And that is literally as much as I know because they use the term other things. So in addition to that, I came back at 6 a.m. and went immediately to Evo after making some playmats, which went over really well. You guys know you can email me, JT at Jasco Games, if you're looking for anything custom. Those 2 days were very, very long, but very, very good. We sold tons of them. This weekend, we've got San Diego Comic-Con, where we're going, and Fox wants us there to talk about Buffy. So the team is going there to do that, and then we're back in town for a couple weeks before Gencon, which is only in 3 weeks. So hopefully we'll see some of you there. I know they're sold out of passes. But hopefully some of you got them beforehand. The last thing that I want to show you guys is we finally got some of the finished art back for the Platinum set for these new characters, and I wanted to show you what is my favorite piece by Daniel Dussault, who has done some work in the past, and it's a piece for Stone Man. It's actually his attack.
All right, everybody. So last week we went to Wednesday Night Fights, and we also went to Evo, and we demoed using the new Street Fighter cards. So what I did is I built one deck of every single character, and we just laid it on the table, and it's like, this is the character select screen. Choose your character. You choose your favorite one you want to play, and then I would choose a deck, and then I would teach people how to play. And overall, it went super successful. Everybody who tried out the decks loved the game. That was at both Wednesday Night Fights and Evo. At Evo, we actually had the turbo decks to sell, so a lot of people who tried out the game ended up buying turbo decks, or they would buy the turbo deck and then want a demo of the game. So overall, I'm pretty happy with how these decks were built, and I really like how the Street Fighter set is simple enough, but also like somewhat a little bit complex, and the cards are very powerful, and everybody who plays with the Street Fighter decks has a very good time. One more thing, if you were at the UFS World Championships back in May, if you played through all of the rounds, you received a Duelist deck box by Dex Protection. And if you made top 8, you also received a Supreme row from Dex Protection. And this is how I'm storing all 19 of the turbo decks. So 15 turbo decks fit in the Supreme row, and then the other 4 are going to fit in the Duelist deck box. So this is a neat way that we have to carry around the demo decks that we use to show people how to play the game. And shout outs to Dex Protection for their awesome deck boxes.
Hello guys, Mohawk Mike here. Wanted to give you a little bit more details on how this past weekend went at Evo. So as we mentioned before, we've been doing a lot more events with the fighting game community to get out there and promote the Universal Fighting System, specifically the Street Fighter release. One of the very cool things we did is we had an actual officially licensed Evo playmat. Again, I know JT has talked about this many times as well. We do our own playmats in-house. We print these ourselves, so it was very cool that we were able to partner with Evo on this. So if you're at Evo and you picked up one of these, good for you. If you are not, I apologize, because this was an Evo limited edition exclusive, and I know I got one here right now, but no, I can't give it to you because it was exclusive to the event. So if you guys are at more events, or if there's something specific you're looking to get, remember to let us know. Now on to the nitty gritty. A lot of people talked to me prior to Evo, and I made a lot of promises. And I want to let you guys know that I personally did not let you down. So I followed Jason around at Evo, and there are a lot of the vendors there, specifically different publishers for the games and things like that. And I actually was able to get Jason in front of a lot of these representatives. So we were able to have a lot of meetings talking about licensing, talking about UFS and our other products and things like that. So I'm not saying anything right now, nothing official as far as licensing or possibilities that we have coming down the road, but I will say that we had a very good reception. Everybody loved the items that we had already out and produced, and so we'll see where those partnerships go down the line. Now, one of the last things that I do want to say, first and foremost, thank you to Gaming Generations for allowing us to cross-promote at Evo. If you guys were there at Evo, you've seen us, we were at the Gaming Generations booth. That was a collaboration we worked out with those guys there. So shout-outs to Evan, Dave, Will B, Will D, bunch of the other guys that I'm forgetting right now because it was a very long and exhausting weekend, but they actually were helping us work the booth, and we were showcasing our items there, so that was very awesome. Second, thank you to everybody who actually came and stopped by the booth, whether in one regard or another. You know, we've been doing a lot of events like these, so specifically, we were at Combo Breaker earlier this year, Community Effort Orlando, we did Wednesday Night Fights, and then we did Evo. So I actually had a few individuals that went to every single one of those events, and each time that they went, they were telling us that they love the game, they love the Street Fighter release of UFS. They've gotten a lot more of their friends into it, and a lot of people actually not only picked up turbo boxes, but either picked up multiple turbo boxes or booster boxes as well because they want to get their friends into the game as well. So overall, Evo was super productive. I think everybody had a great time. It was a very long and draining experience, but one that I think was well worthwhile. So with that being said, keep an eye out on other events that we will be at. Regardless of if it's a video game event or not, we would love to come out, and we would love to just keep spreading the word about everything that Jasco Games does. Keep your eye locked on the Jasco Games Facebook page, as well as all of our affiliate social media channels to get more info on those events. Or specifically, if you have an event that you know of, you can send an email to me. My email is mike@jascogames.com. I will get in contact with that event organizer and see what we can do to at least get product there, or actually send out representatives ourselves to be there as well. So this is Mohawk Mike reporting back from the grounds of Evo. Great time. We'll see you at the next one.
Hello again, everyone. We are here for another suggestion box corner. I'm going to read our first and I guess last two suggestions for today. First off, we have, hello. I was wondering, since you guys are tight with level 99 games because of the Exceed game, is there any way we will be getting a 7th cross set? I would love to play with 7 cross characters, even if they are like Indines or just Turbo decks brought into the game. We are indeed very tight with level 99 games. In fact, we've done more than just Exceed. We have the Indine set in UFS. We have Mega Man Pixel Tactics. And obviously Red Horizon is in Exceed. So a 7th cross set, there's definitely chances that we could get promo cards from it, but we haven't talked directly with Brad yet on anything licensing with 7th cross. We're kind of talking about doing some other projects right now, but I would say definitely not off the table. Just kind of keep following us and we'll let you know later down the road. Next question we have. My wife and I bought Buffy the board game and played our first ever game last night. The game was tough and we lost, which is good for a co-op game. We're looking forward to future plays. One issue we ran into was the punch board. Overall, the component quality was high, but a handful of the tokens, almost the big bad tiles, and he probably meant also, and one or two of the character tiles had some sort of substance smudge or speckled on them. Because we take meticulous care of our games, and like to keep them in near mint condition, it was a little disappointing to find defects with a new game. We specifically buy new board games to avoid issues such as this. I tried cleaning the spots/smudges with one of my dry cloths, but I suspect this happened during the print process, so it wouldn't clean off. This marred what was otherwise a very nice production. Another issue, which you are probably already aware of, is that the Tomes card appears to have an error on it. The card shows the fight icon, but instructs a search action. I'm not sure which of these is correct. The two are mutually exclusive. Thanks. So to address both of these, the first thing is if you have any issues with any of our products whatsoever, quality-wise, something's missing or something's damaged when you get it, send us a picture at info@jascogames.com, or you can send it directly to me, jason@jascogames.com, and we will be sure to take care of you on that product. So if you have a missing character or a damaged punch board or anything like that, be sure to take pictures of it, send it to us, and we'll take care of it for you. As for the misprint on the icon, or for the tomes, that has actually been noticed and addressed, and all future and current prints of the Buffy game don't have the misprint on them anymore. So if you have the misprint on the tome, it's going to be from one of the first 5 print runs. So 6 and 7, which are already out, those don't have the misprint on them anymore. Another way to tell if you have the right version is the artifacts will have a red card back on the ones with the correction. So Sorry about the misprint on there, or the typo, but it has been corrected, so just keep an eye out for the newer versions. If not, you have a more rare, older version of the game. So there you go. That's Suggestion Box Corner once again. Signing out.